Well, Sancho. Alright, well, you're in the frame, mate. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Brandon Robertson Thompson Golf. It's been a while and we're not on tour this week, but I'm going to bring you some exclusive access to one of my lessons with the main man, Liam Robinson. You'll notice, first of all, straight away, new bag, stopped off at Strixon HQ this morning, picked up some little treats, Team Strixon. We might even do a little close-up of all the stuff in the video, but what you can expect is gold, swing stuff, what I'm working on, goals, what we're going to improve, and just some crisp ball striking. So stick around and yeah, enjoy.
Be a big move.
I'm rolling.
All right. So, I guess we talk through all of that again, mate. Hang on.
Shit.
All right, good.
Scramble my cock off.
Yeah. Came 18th.
And do you know what? I was talking to Jamie.
Must have been awful.
Didn't even really hold my fair share of putts, to be fair.
So you've come 18th. You hit it like crap. Didn't hold.
Driver decent.
Hit driver good. Okay. That's still a positive then. We should probably get some balls, shouldn't we? Be a good start, wouldn't it?
Kind of overdrawing them.
Overdrawing.
Not even overdrawing, just pull drawing them.
Just, yeah.
To be honest.
So pretty much then when we were at Berkhamsted, what we were seeing at the start of the session.
Do you know what though? When I left Berkhamsted, I didn't really felt that it was good.
You didn't?
No. I can feel it.
Okay.
It was all right, but it wasn't it.
Okay.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
But like I felt like it was okay.
Well, the ball was telling you good things.
Yeah.
It's starting further right again. It was.
I know, but like I don't know whether it was the turf, it was the ball, or it was something. I just felt.
Didn't feel how it was. Okay.
Because then I was like trying to like do something weird down here that I had never done before.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I have to do something I've never done before to feel something I felt before? You know what I mean?
Because there could just be, like what I said.
What I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, the thing we were talking about though was, I think, relative to how many weeks in a row you'd had. Like, you know, when you start, because the thing is, when we first saw each other, it was like, without, like, you'd just come off the back of a couple of weeks where you'd only played a couple of days, and then obviously Ireland was, Northern Ireland, you played all 4 days, but it was like, I felt like we were coming in, and because it was the start of it, it was, you were maybe a bit fresher. Yeah. And the thing that, the deceleration side of it, which is what you're talking about in regards to that release pattern, yeah. I just felt that it wasn't, you'd lost that bit more because of you'd been on the road for 8 weeks rather than necessarily, it was always going to feel a little different. So it was just giving you a bit of a different overfeel to help you kind of establish that feeling of being able to throw the club in, pull up and stabilise it a bit more. Cause,
that's what I've been missing. I've been missing that.
But when you get off there, that is it, because you end up a bit more kind of around, you end up throwing that arm off you a bit more, and you end up losing that kind of punch into the ground, don't you? So it's just.
I was looking at, since Prague, I still haven't recorded one where I've had a nice feeling.
Yeah, we haven't got that, like the one that I sent you from the course in Ireland, yeah. Where you look like that kind of in this position in the club looking back at you. Okay.
Like high, long.
Yeah.
I haven't felt that. I don't think.
Okay.
I haven't seen that anyway.
Yeah. All right.
But
well, if let's work more towards that today then.
Good. In Italy.
In Italy, that was it.
I hit it good, but like I lost. I wasn't getting the ground interaction.
Okay.
I was very picky again.
Okay.
So I know, like, even like a 5 and 6 iron, I wasn't like getting any like ground.
Yeah.
And I know you're not going to be big divs and that.
But you were getting them when
it
we were
was
in
okay up there.
Yeah.
Like, and I can, as long as I can see it going okay up there, I can play.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is,
when you know intrinsically, I know when it's like.
Yeah.
Because I felt it.
You felt it be that good, yeah.
So I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
To be that good, you know.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, mate, like what you're seeing out here that you didn't like last week, yeah. Is generally relative to what you're saying you can't feel there as well. Yeah. Because if you think about, like, you know, when we first started in Ireland, it was kind of the the strike came from, well, the fact that you were there you go, the fact that you were flushing it, and the fact that we could get that image almost every time.
Yeah.
But it's the overdraw tends to limit from, and the left start line limits the more that you can kind of get to the ground a different way, but then also get the club actually into the ground. Like, it's very often when I start like sessions, you just overdraw it, and then the thing that limits it is the ability to throw it in. And it's the throwing it in, mate, is what allows you to then pull up and get that look on the way out.
Well, I don't get off, and then obviously I don't get as much in.
No, and then you spin.
Do you remember that video I did on
In Prague.
Instagram where I was just
I literally shown it him earlier, weirdly enough. Yeah. There you go.
there, I was like,
Told you the noises as well, didn't I? I literally showed it him on Instagram, and I was like, look, he makes these noises.
You can't hear it, but he's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. You know he's doing it in his head every time.
See that?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, mate, it's just like getting the thing to the ground the right way and then getting it out the ground the right way.
Do you remember I felt really like athletic?
Yeah.
Through the ball and stuff. I haven't really felt as
You haven't felt as much of that?
I felt very much like a bit like
See,
a bit lazy.
I said to you about doing a bit more towel work today.
Yeah.
The reason I like that is because everything you're talking about is more left side stuff again. So like the pulling up to be able to throw in and catch it, it's all very left sided. And obviously using the towel, the reason we use that is so that it creates that larger collision so you can brace harder.
Do you think maybe, because I think I don't get like, and again I think it comes from like, one, having that driver where I didn't really want to do it.
Yeah.
But like getting into it, because if I don't do that, I'm not going to want to do that.
No, of course you're not. Well, you haven't created enough energy forwards to be able to do that.
So it's kind of like, it's kind of like here, and then I don't really get out of it. So it's like, once I'm in there, I feel like I can like. Yeah,
exactly. You can use, so when you get a bit kind of down and on it, you then get spinny, and the spinny then you're not creating any pressure in your foot. There's nothing to use.
There's nothing to actually go.
Yeah, there's nothing to push you up. Whereas the more you get off, like if you think about it logically, if I unloaded 100% and then I push down, that's going to create a much bigger spike to if I go here and here, isn't it?
And then it's up to me. If I'm here, what do you want to do?
Yeah, and reaction-wise, you're going to be more likely to go like that to get out.
Because if you think about that video we were talking about in Prague. Yeah. I was feeling this, right?
Yeah, you was, yeah.
And then that's why everything looks so good coming out
here. Because literally you pull up and throw, and you think about wanting to throw it. So you're talking about like that being the problem, with the image where it looks back at you. The thing is, to get that, you've got to throw the club.
It's just reactionary, isn't it?
To throw the club, you've got to create the room to throw it. Because if you're like here, you're not going to want to throw it because you did it back there somewhere.
Well,
you wouldn't, but
a little throw.
Yeah.
And then I said to Josh, I was like, I know I'm over curving it. I know I'm not like,
letting it go.
Into it like that. This is out on the course.
Yeah. Oh no. Brilliant.
No, but you, as a player, you need to know how to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Until it was like 2:15 on number 11. Bit of wind off the left, and I was like, I just need a fucking. No, I don't want this 600 over curve.
Yeah.
So I just like felt like that, quite fat.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm thinking, okay. It's not just that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. You can't just...
I say fat, it was...
Yeah. You got to think of everything as just action, reaction all the time, mate. So it's like, if you move this way, you've then got space to move that way. Yeah. If you move that way, you can now create energy to move this way. You create the space, you can then throw it. You can't just go like, oh, I'm a bit on it, spun out, I'm going to throw it. Because then you'll fat it. Do you know what I mean?
Remember that shot?
You get quite a few in Spain.
No. On 11.
On 11.
We hit that 6-iron weldy up and down, but I was like 10 short of the green.
Yeah.
That was kind of fat. Like,
yeah.
Obviously I didn't fat it.
No.
But it was like
a
little bit like
heavy.
Not flush.
Yeah.
What was weird to me was the sensation that you was like, I need to release it. And it was coming out fucking dead straight.
Neutral, yeah.
You was releasing it more and more and more. And
Yeah.
It was fucking coming out straight.
Yeah.
When I don't, it's this.
Yeah, because when he doesn't, he holds it, gets drivey.
More I can go is like...
Yeah, more you can throw it, that's what stabilises a face. Like, if you're looking for the true way of stabilising a club face, it's throwing it down. It's not holding it.
When I'm not doing the other bits well, I can feel that as much as I want. It's not going to be as pure.
No. like you say, mate, you can try and feel releasing it as much as you like. If your body's not in the right place, it's actually probably going to feel possibly even worse in different ways, because you're always going to catch it heavy because your body's not where it should be. Like, because the problem you get is when you spin as well, you drop this like back and under, and you get very kind of like that, don't you, where your left arm gets away and you end up behind it. Yeah, and then the problem from there was if you tried to release it from there, you're going to be hitting it from the inside.
That's why I was always finishing like this.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Holding on for dear life.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's hit some. Let me have a little listen and a little look, and then we'll start to have a little chat. That first couple of balls, we had to kind of bring the strike back a little thin so that you could then start to throw it down to get it to the ground the right way again. And that,
Stepping off is really nice.
yeah, it's a great way of doing it, mate, because you can't.
I sometimes feel like it's really difficult to emulate that. You know, when we talk
Yeah.
about, it's like a training aid. You
Mm.
can't use the training. So I feel like sometimes when I'm like that, it's hard to emulate. I mean, my
Yeah.
feet are this wide.
I know, but I know you're
See what I
stepping.
feel, but like I'm like, okay, well, how do I feel that now without doing that?
Well,
I'm like,
the big thing when you're stepping though, mate, it's not actually about what you're really doing through the ground, because I know your leg goes this way,
Yeah.
but if you're talking in relation, like even when you're stepping, you're probably only moving it this far. So it's like maybe, I don't know, a foot and a half. Like when you're doing it, yeah, exactly. You're not doing that, are you?
well, I often keep it narrow anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit narrow and just go.
Like when you look at that, so straight away, obviously strike shallows and stuff as well, so it's great. But like,
And it's like this starts
yeah,
going.
but that's because you're going this way more,
Yeah.
and then you get out that way more. So the problem
You have
is,
to drive.
yeah, exactly. You have to. You've got no choice. So what you're doing when you're doing that, though, it's not actually what you're doing in the ground that's changing. What's happening is if you think about like percentage of motion, like I'm moving my foot maybe a foot to the right. What's actually moving the most is actually this bit as you're stepping. So when you talk
not-
about
it's not
how
like
do I
I'm going
relate
like
it, no, you're not at all, mate. No. So I think,
See, that one was actually a little bit thin.
yeah,
Like a little bit lower.
which I like.
Yeah.
I like to see you more on the thin side than the fat side because it means your pattern's better. Because the thing is, you see, when you start doing that, if you remember Scotland, that was probably the first 6 balls you hit on the range when we started stepping. And then what we started to do then was go, now you can throw it. Yeah? Because from there you can throw it as much as you like. There you go, money. Then you start getting like a decent depth and decent shaped divot again.
And super neutral.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, no, I've seen enough of you now to know that when you're swinging how we want you to, that it's like,
I was getting
tight.
Worried. I was getting worried. I say worried, but like I knew that it was going to curve.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't like it.
No, which is funny considering how you did so well last year. You were playing with a lot of curve, weren't you? Nice. And then the thing is, mate, like the more you get those
That's
step
actually really
throughs,
nice.
yeah, it's pure. But that's because again, you feel like you can throw it again now.
Because I can't quite get back down to it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you go like this, if you move in this way and then you hold, you won't get it to the ground.
Yeah.
So that's why it gets thin. So what it allows you to do is go, I'm getting the club, you got to get the club to the ground a different way. You get it to the way like that, don't you? So when you're swinging not how you want to, you're open and then you kind of hold. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice. Smidge heavy. Yeah, a little heavy that, yeah. Can I just move everything so I can get a video? Get the new bag out of the video. When did you get this? But you've had more bags in the last 6 weeks. See, I like that sound. Like, because this turf as well, mate, you know, because it's obviously quite soft and wet as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you were steep,
I can tell though.
yeah,
By the shape of the divots.
Yeah.
The way the divot starts.
yeah.
The way it feels when I hit the ground.
This is why, though, I think every range
First divot
session,
here. Look at this first divot.
yeah, it's, yeah,
See the way
yeah,
you see the exit on it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's exactly what you were talking about in Ireland, wasn't it?
It's fucked. Look at it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like.
It's almost like it's in the ground for. It's weird, isn't it? Because you remember when we were on Trackman?
Is that like that, or is that like?
It's that way. Yeah.
Is it?
It's just because it's in the ground for too long. Because it's like this. It's in the ground for too long. Whereas, like, you know, when you're getting that one, the attack angle's probably steeper,
Yeah,
but you're pulling it out, so it's kind of like you're throwing it in with more angle, but you're pulling it out quicker.
Remember those 6 and 5 iron hitting to 16 at K Club, though?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I knew I had something there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've been searching for that feeling.
Right, you ready, mate?
Yep.
Go ahead. Money. Sounds better.
I feel more athletic here.
Yeah.
But the way I'm finishing.
But if you think about it,
See how fucking shallow that fucker
yeah,
is?
if you're spinny, it ain't going to feel athletic, is it?
No.
The more you feel like you can go like here, that's what then allows you to feel that, have that awareness to then pull.
Still in my head, it feels right to me.
Yeah.
Still, for some reason. I know I've played really good doing it.
Yeah.
But it's still like when just that, the more I do that, I'm like,
Yeah.
low right.
Yeah. And it doesn't.
Sometimes, but like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
In my head.
But that's because though, normally if you're feeling like a head this way, you'd also be a bit covery that way, and then that's the squirty right one. Whereas like, because your upper body's that way, yeah, because your body's more this way, it won't do that. It just won't. Seen you hit enough balls to know that. Are you still doing some of these in your warm up?
Yeah.
Every day? So neutral, mate. See,
I can feel it. I can feel it inside.
yeah.
I can feel it here.
Yeah.
But the way this is, I'm posted, and I feel the energy. The energy's this way.
Yeah.
That's
It's the only way it can go though, isn't it, when it's here? How else are you going to get out of it?
True.
If you're like, if you,
like if I'm not getting off of it, I can't get into it, and then I can't get up.
yeah, it's just a little 3 thing. It's just literally action the whole way through.
It's just going to be that forever.
Yeah, going like that again. You'll be going like this again massively. You'll be going like that.
Yeah.
And then you'll have other weeks where you go, oh yeah, this feels mint, and then you'll go like this. And then other weeks you'll lose the last bit.
I think it's just the off bit.
I think, well, if you think about the first 2 weeks we worked together, that's all we talked about. Get off it, get off it, get off it. Get off it as much as you like.
And even that one, I didn't step on that one. It felt great.
Yeah, that was a joke, yeah.
You can feel it then, because I was like that. Probably didn't have enough drive phase.
Yeah. So just, fucking hell. Right, so. Right, just backswing only. Right, now do it again for me. Just take this arm off. Right, do it again. Pop it on. Right, do it again. On, good. So I want you to feel more like your left arm is feeling more like, because you, good, way better. Right, and yeah, so now do the step for me.
A bit doms.
Yeah, do the little step for me and stop at the top. Right, see where your left arm is in relation to your chest when you do that, look.
Yeah.
See how it's more like bang, it's less like that way. Yeah, so it's not that you need to stretch it off you, it's just more like, the relationship of that and that just needs to be more here. So when you're doing the step, what it does for you is it allows you to feel more like, feel more of this kind of load up in your upper body.
Why can't I just fucking play like that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Just do that. Because like, all joking aside, like how soft this is.
Why? This is what I want to know.
Go on.
I want that step in my swing. How do I do that?
Just do it. But the way you get the step, so you're never going to look that wide. That's number one. You're never going to look that wide. But what you're creating space in with that move in, it's not about, you're not moving like this, Brando.
No.
You're moving like this.
Yeah.
So it's about creating space here. And the more width and time you've got at the top, so the more you've got width and time, you've then got time to go bang. If you get a bit kind of like, even the way you were doing your left armers when you were shanking in Switzerland, it's like,
Cross, isn't it?
it's
no
there.
space there.
Yeah, so then the problem is there's no space. So then you've got to go, fucking get out of the way of it.
That's why that feels so not safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Unsafe.
Yeah. Whereas like, make that one arm backswing again. Right, pop on. Right, then you can go bang. And do it more from here, not legs. So it's more like, what I want to see is, from here, Brando, I want to see left shoulder, left knee, left foot all lining up. Not like this. I don't want to see that relationship where this starts to drop back. Yeah, I don't want to see that, yeah. So it's like away and then in, beautiful. And then that's basically what you're doing on the step off drill. Nice, lovely.
That's the feel.
That's the one, isn't it? On, beautiful, then in, beautiful. There you go. That's exactly what you were demonstrating on the video you posted. Nice. Nice.
So safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Neutral as balls.
Yeah.
And that's like quite a strong flight.
Yeah, it's coming out, you're getting the ball speed a very different way.
Yeah.
You're not having to do it like this. You're not de-lofting it and driving it. You do it. You're doing it through the angle in, and then you're getting it through that, Brando. The speed's coming from. Nice. And the thing is, mate, even if it draws a little bit, if the start line's wet like that, it's no bother, is it?
I want that.
Yeah, there's no bother, is there?
I want it drawing.
Yeah, of course you do.
But
you want it.
I
You want
like
it tight.
Trying to draw.
Yeah. Not.
Drawing.
Yeah. Not
You know?
slinging.
I want it like under drawing, but always trying to draw.
Yeah.
That's why I've always struggled with driver.
Yeah.
So I want it because Josh was saying it's weird. Like, oh, you want to see your irons under draw, but you want to draw your driver, and it's like, no, it's not what I want.
No.
I just want the driver. If it goes right, it goes right. But if it's trying to come back,
Yeah.
that's how I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with irons trying to come back, driver
Fucking off right. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's where I've always struggled with trying to find a driver that really, really fits.
Yeah.
And I think I drove it really quite well for a few weeks when we first started.
Yeah.
Because the driver itself, I was like trying to get so over here.
Yeah.
I felt like I could. That's when I started getting into it with driver. It was coming down.
Yeah.
So you remember with driver, all we were focusing was
Getting off. Yeah.
I was focusing less on that.
Yeah. Well, even in Berkhamsted, that's all we said, wasn't it? To get it pure in the window,
But
just
I
get
think
off.
that hurts me.
Yeah.
With irons.
Okay.
Because with driver, all I'm doing is that, and then not even worrying about that. And it's like with driver, I'll get there and I'll probably just, I'm way more open.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's equipment.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
That's
with
me trying to be good with the equipment.
Yeah. Not just swinging it the same with everything, it
Instead of
fitting
the
into you.
equipment being good for me.
Yeah. I think the hard bit as well, mate, when you first start out, like when you're swinging it the way that you were doing, you're trying to do everything as well to try and get spin and launch down. Whereas like now you're swinging it like that, it's like you can have a little bit of help in the clubs as well with a bit more loft, a bit slightly higher launching, and
For sure.
you don't need everything to be like this because you need to bring everything down so much. You're getting it down through your body. Yeah. You're getting it down more through here. Yeah, exactly. And the club's like inside your hands
That's
and
how
then...
that's how I've hit driver for years.
Yeah,
That's why it's really good or really bad.
yeah. How have you found the like Stinger one when you haven't felt as comfortable? Because in Scotland, obviously you loved it and it's because you were moving really well. And I did say to you, that's a joke, isn't it?
Sure.
So pure.
I mean, that's hitting balls that I've already hit.
Yeah.
Just bounce off one of the other.
That's why I don't play golf anymore. Yeah. If ever you start getting a bit off as well, Brando, get driver out and try and hit like 10 of those Stinger drivers, but you've got to hit them neutral and try and see it, like, because that will get you wanting to move more that way, because if you don't, you'll wang it way left. So, and that's why I loved that shot that week, because you were moving so well in Scotland and you could just do it on,
well.
yeah, it was so good. Like we said, mate, we finished a practice round, it was like you literally hit every fairway, every green.
You're like, did you miss a green?
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't
I did.
think I did.
That was like the most low-key 4-under in the pro-am I've ever
I know,
seen.
yeah. Just like cruising around with your mates and just like, yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
That's so much better, by the way, mate. So much better, yeah. So just,
See, that feels way more comfortable than we did at Berkhamsted.
yeah.
I felt like I was like cheating it somehow.
Okay, yeah.
Don't know how
Berkhamsted,
to-
it
don't
looks...
really how to explain it.
See, when I first met you in Ireland, it didn't look slow.
Yeah.
When I saw you in Berkhamsted, it looked a bit...
Yeah.
So that's why I tried to get you to,
It's the
like,
value of
feel
like,
it.
being fucking having rest.
Yeah, exactly that, mate, yeah.
You know?
8 weeks in a row. And the thing is, it wasn't just 8 weeks in a row, it's like 4 or 5 of the weeks you're up there as well.
Yeah, every week.
It's knackering.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
yeah.
a lot. I learned it last year. But
Yeah.
Like, last year I had to play.
Yeah.
And I think this year I've learned a lot more. Like,
Yeah.
it's way more beneficial, even if you're hot, to go have a week off.
Yeah.
Relax, reset,
Yeah.
stay sharp.
Yeah. And then come back to it.
Yeah.
So just do that one arm backswing again, mate, and pop it on. Good. Right. This is what I really want you to have that awareness of.
Yeah.
Is it just doesn't start creeping lower and here.
Kind of like in Switzerland.
Exactly the same as Switzerland. Before the final
In
round.
Switzerland. Come closer,
Okay. So you can hear it.
so you can hear.
All right.
Come closer, baby. In Switzerland on Saturday, the weather was terrible, and I went out and shot 6 over and chipped and putted unreal for 6 over, and it was terrible. I was like hitting low left. That's when the stingers as well were low left.
Yeah.
And then in like 50-mile-an-hour winds, we had a little session on FaceTime.
I got a first SOS.
And yeah, I literally, he got his first SOS message. I sent him a text after that 18 holes, literally SOS.
Called within 2.5 seconds. Bang.
I sent it, I had 25 yards to the door of player dining, and before I opened the door, Liam was calling me. So like 20 yards. And then we went down to the range, and it literally was very similar to this, to like, I was doing a lot of my drills where I was getting real narrow and tucked like that, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were, yeah. Because it was like as soon as I watched you do a left arm, I was like, that's that.
Yeah, you're like, mate, it's this very similar thing here, this width and this space between.
Yeah.
Next day, I shot 5 under, long story short, but I was 7 under through 15.
Yeah.
And it was like a strum sesh.
Yeah, I was getting a few videos that day, and it was it was one of those exciting ones again, where it felt like you were about to go and absolute nuts.
Yeah. So, my point being, it's sometimes, a lot of the time, it's the same sort of stuff. But the drill bits, like if I'm not doing the drill bits correct, it's going to be tough to actually get the most out of that.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah.
Left arm is every morning.
Yeah.
It's like when I first started talking to you a bit, I was like, oh, I've just copied a bunch of stuff online.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I love it. And you're like, well, there's a bit more to it than the stuff online. And I'm like, fuck it,
yeah,
whatever.
shut up, mate.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not until you actually get in person and actually see how doing the drills so efficiently actually translates into that.
Well, the thing is, mate, everything that's built within them, they're done that way for a reason. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can't just rock up and just go, yeah, I'm going to hit a left armour, and if it's not done the right way, you won't get like the reaction like that, will you?
How happy are you that you stood right there for that one?
Nice, that, weren't it? Pretty good. It's enjoyable, isn't it?
You get a little bit more neutral.
It's exactly why I don't want to play golf anymore. Went to the first session with him, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Nice, mate.
I just feel like when I get there, once I give myself room and then I get there, it's like fucking game
money,
on.
innit?
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. But what you're feeling is just how much you're loading that left side.
Flag Zola. But yeah, but when I'm not on, and I don't get off, and I get a little bit like, this movement scares me.
Yeah. Well, it would do if you're here, because you can't do it.
Exactly.
If you're literally left arm more across you, more left-sided, lost height, you certainly ain't going to want to move that way, are you?
Yeah, that's why I'm so afraid of it.
Because your arm's going to feel like it's coming from an ear somewhere.
Yeah, it does.
That's it, pure. Mate, you can even just like see it from here, you know, just the relationship of where it is and money. How shallow is that off that?
I know, I've actually caught the side of that divot with my heel. It felt horrible.
That's quite
when the div's not lined up.
That's quite. Yeah. I thought you said that shot felt horrible. I was like, interesting. Looked pretty good to me. It's not though. If you're off it, ain't.
Well.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like when the clubs get longer, I'm like, that movement gets worse for me. But without.
But again, though, think of it like this though. Yeah. If you don't get that width in that left arm, with the longer the club, that's going to feel horrendous, isn't it? If you're like this and a bit narrow, and you've got the longer shaft, you're going to feel so restricted. Whereas if you feel more like bang, you've then got all that time and space. There you go, pure.
And then I feel like I can really get into it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, even with a step drill with the long club's class.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty average out.
But you see, look
Look how
this.
shallow it is. Yeah.
You can see it in the finish. It's like this.
Yeah. It's just really hard.
There's a bit of speed in there.
Yeah. Well, it would be, because to get that, you're going like this. You're going up and you're throwing. So you're getting more club head speed the right way. You're not getting like your distance through. Yeah, it's a joke. But again, then, mate, you're only saying everything that we see. Like, it's like the divots get shallower, the strike gets better. But every time it always comes from that first bit, doesn't it? Just, there you go. Nice, do it again.
Maybe without the
arm.
step, yeah.
Yeah, left arm only if you can. Do it again. Just left arm only and then do a normal one. Good. Then put it on. Right, that's what you've got to be feeling. Yeah? Thing is, mate, if you do it one arm, the good thing you've got is you're going to struggle to cheat it because it gets too heavy with the longer clubs. You'll end up dropping your arm down. Nice. Pure. How shallow is that, by the way?
Yeah, I know, I just feel like I don't.
I guarantee you, though, if we had that on Trackman, that's very different to like being picky, because it's got a different sound to it. Yeah, it's down.
Still down, but then it's up.
Yeah, it's very, very. It's a different shallow to when you're off. When you're off, it's shallow because the club's working that way, Brando. Whereas when you're getting it like that, it's because you're on it, throwing it, and then pulling it out. It's a very different shallow. Like that shallow there's different. That was open. Like the one that stood out to me the most, Jamie. Yeah. He called me this morning. The one that stands out to me. Can you remember 13 par 5 day 1?
Where?
Check. When you hit it to like 10 feet right at the flag. In
What hole,
2.
sorry?
Par 5,
Par
13.
13.
Second shot.
4-iron?
4-iron.
Yeah.
That shot there,
Yeah.
to me, was the epitome of like shallow the right way.
Yeah.
Because the ball did everything it was supposed to, still comes off fast, but you're not like digging trenches with a 5-iron. 'Cause you're not. The thing is, the more you're throwing it down, the more you'll want to pull it up, and you're just creating a better relationship down
But
here.
then, do you know what happens? I think as well. Because of this and then a bit of this, I start trying to take a divot.
Yeah,
And it
which
starts
is,
to get deeper.
and then it also starts to get heavier.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
trying to get a divot
Yeah.
instead of actually going.
That's also when you'll start getting in danger with it being behind the ball. You know, when you're a bit this way and then you start trying to get it that way.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're there, mate, if you're pulling up and throwing hard,
There's just nowhere,
It's just such a
nowhere
nice
else
feel.
for me to go.
no, there isn't.
If I'm driving that way with space,
Yeah.
there's nowhere else for me to go.
No.
But I feel like I can just come up.
Yeah,
And I keep going back to that video, me demonstrating it, which was good for you, good on your part to record it.
yeah,
It's so cool to see.
yeah. But you see, like when you're doing the one before, for example, like it doesn't look any different to that video. You know, now you're talking about the right things again.
Yeah.
You look like what you look like when why I recorded it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I recorded it because I'm like, yes. Talk to yourself.
Can you just say that all
Yeah,
again?
say that all again, exactly how you just did, and I'll video it for you. Nice. And I just think, mate, as well, like the better structured you get in that lead arm, you know, in regards to like that, as opposed to getting a bit soft with it. I just think that's going to be massive, because when you make that transitional move, so do it again for me. You know, when you make that transitional move there, then the thing is, this is still nice and wide, and then that creates the leverage then for you to be able to go on the way down. You know, when you throw it. No, it wouldn't be that way. But I mean, you know, like when you start to let it go. The thing is, like, because you can, and then you actually increase this pressure point. When you get a bit spin off you really early, you know, and we always send that image at impact. When you're not swinging the way we want you to, you always look a bit kind of held like that way and a bit spun. Whereas when you looked at your best in art, it's like, and it just all lines up. So you increase, like when people talk about popping head covers under and stuff like that, So the thing is, you want that pressure actually increasing in transition. You don't want it like super tight
You don't want
here.
it there,
No,
there.
you don't want it like this.
Yeah.
Because then that's why it comes out on the way out. Whereas I kind of try and feel that pressure point more in.
That's why we don't really like training it.
No. No.
I saw a thing this morning. It was like the health industry. They want, you know, it's a pill to cure that.
Yeah.
And then you get a side effect, you just take another pill.
Yeah.
And that side effect, take another pill.
Yeah.
And then where I saw this, it was he was relating it to golf and training aids.
Really?
It was like, so that you've got a fault in your swing and you fix it with a training aid.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then you got, and then you have another training aid. So you've got this bag of like 5 or 6 training aids.
Yeah. Like tin cup.
Instead of training,
Yeah.
you have training aids.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like we train.
Yeah. We do. Yeah.
We train our bodies. We train the motion. Whereas we could easily just get a training aid to help that.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be doing it the right way. Equally, like when people do, we were talking about this earlier, you know, doing like slow motion swings.
Yeah.
I don't really get it because you could put the club in any position you wanted in slow motion.
I mean, I could backswing like that though.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong.
You can do whatever you like.
I can guarantee you I could never hit it like that.
No, because as soon as you add speed to it, you can't move like that either. So the more you can kind of train at full speed, it means it's going to be more relatable to the minute you get on the golf course, isn't it? So really push it off. Good. Mate, how good is it just to make contact with a 5-iron like that, by the way? I wasn't expecting you to hit that then.
No, I know you weren't.
I
was doing it. Do you remember?
Did he actually hit any good ones on after the FaceTime?
Mate, we had FaceTime. The next day, in my warm up, bang, flush, bang, flush.
Really?
And I was like, Josh was like, it's on.
Yeah, we're on it.
He's like, fucking hell, right.
5-iron as well.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably best to not do it with a 5-iron if you're going to do it. You
The
probably
hardest
need.
part is the interlock.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes you've not even got like, you're trying to put his hand on and you're like, looking his over here somewhere halfway up the shaft. Mate, you're all right.
I was just making sure I could do it.
That's ridiculous with a 5-iron, by the way.
No, 6-iron.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's rubbish then. Yeah, it's garbage. Nice, mate. It's just the windows there, isn't it?
That's.
Money.
It just feels
Yeah. Feels athletic
nothing
again.
weak. There's nothing soft.
Yeah. Ooh. That's different, isn't it?
But I'll admit as well though, instantly comes down when
Yeah.
we start working on this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I drove it quite well in Madrid,
Yeah.
because I was probably a bit more like, you know what I mean?
Hit me one, move the same way,
Yeah.
but I want you know that release pattern, so peg it up a little bit more than like, and then what I want you to do is like, you know the release pattern, just give me like the most extreme once you've moved in, like the up and throw, so don't hold on to it, because I feel like if you move this way and you hold it a little bit, obviously launch is going to come out a bit low, innit? So just feel like you're actually sending it once you move in properly. So get off it loads, move in, throw it hard. Is that better?
But even the way I hit it is.
It's nice, isn't it? Mate, it's so funny. Like, you know, like I've looked at everything, and he was sending me a video. He sent me a video, and I'm going, "Why are you doing like that?" We both. I knew exactly what video he'd done it from.
He's like that.
He's like,
But it is. It's energy. It's the way. It's got this like down here. It's got this like.
yeah,
Whereas when I'm sometimes hitting, I'm just like.
yeah. It's a bit slow, a bit soft,
there's
and a
not
bit.
this, like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Oblivious. Beautiful, mate. That's a joke, isn't it, by the way?
Pretty good. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a joke.
I wish that camera was good enough to see that. I might
'Cause-
put some soft faces on there.
It's ridiculous, isn't it, mate? That's it. So just move in, often move in, but don't release it as well.
That's the sting dog, isn't it?
It-
Essentially, yeah.
but not done the way, yeah, but not quite, yeah. So what I wanted him to do that for is just so he could see it. Yeah, so it's like,
But do you know what? That would essentially be how I do it.
yeah,
Because even with irons, if I want to bring it down, I just
stay on it longer.
Stay on it longer and then
Yeah,
come up.
exactly.
Whereas that one, I just really delayed. There was none of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
was none of that.
Yeah. And do you know why that was like, the thing that's great about that is the stinger move, you're moving in and it's not gone left on you.
No.
So that's like, you know, when you're still on that 14th tee in Prague that you didn't like every day,
Yeah.
that's the one where you just want to do that. Just stay in it. Yeah, just do that. That's ridiculous, isn't it? So, you know when it gets absolutely pumping,
Yeah.
just do that. Don't stay left and then spin out.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, just do that.
But especially into the wind. Like into the wind, it's so hard to like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I still got to get that way. It's pumping in my face. It's
Yeah.
like,
Every single thing within you wants to stay there, doesn't it?
yeah. So like I said, if it does get windy, I just tend to like.
Yeah. The problem you got is though, the more you get on that wind and you start going, I want to stay on it, I want to stay on it, then the problem is then you go, oh.
Yeah. And then miss it left.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. And that's when you start getting the toe as well. Like so. Right, so do.
Just try to pull out. I just try to pull out.
Yeah. Thing is though, you've like this. You know, we said to you when we were in Ireland about the way that you do release your arms.
Yeah.
It's like making sure that it's not like that. You're not getting that like Hogan-y, sorry, the kind of held off one. That's it. So off it as much as you can, move in and let it go. Pull up and throw. Toe, yeah.
You know what? Actually, in general, with this driver, I haven't towed it as much.
Really?
Just in general. But
Might even just be the way that the face sits to you, mate, or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I did it, you know, when I went to that Wilson driver.
yeah.
It was like, it shouldn't feel as amazing as it did, but it's like my strike's gone from toe bias to like middle. I couldn't explain to you why. I wasn't swinging it any different. Nice. That's it. Thing is, mate, as well, like if you're like, you know, if you're kind of not feeling great, it's not a bad thing just to kind of hit it a bit lower and just move well anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather you hit your driver 5% less efficiently in regards to yardage and everything be up the pipe than I would you kind of trying to dictate to driver and losing your irons.
True.
Joke. You know what's also really interesting, mate? You know, when you hold your finish, when you swing like that, you don't look like, you know, like in the past, you kind of looked a bit held and like this way. It's like everything looks more like up and here.
Does it?
Yeah.
Feels more like.
Yeah. I got a couple of really good videos of you in Ireland, you know, from the first practice round we did.
Yeah.
It's just like how different your follow through looks. There's, actually, I'll tell you the best one I got is, you know, in I was going to say in Scotland though, number 8 in the first practice. I got a driver of when you and Jack were on there.
Yeah.
I got a driver of yours on there that just like your follow through just looks so much more released and up.
Still in Birmingham.
Right, mate. So for when you go to China,
Yeah.
a couple of things that we need you to focus on. That obviously we already know this stuff. It's going to be similar stuff every week, but I think how you're kind of doing a lot of your left arm work. So whether you're hitting balls left arm, whether you're adding it into your right hand, we've just got to get that position of, that's it exactly, more off of there rather than letting it start get a bit low and a bit across you. That's going to give you the space then to be able to make that move in and keep this width, so that then you can use that leverage to throw more. Obviously making sure, I think that'll kind of deal, if I'm honest, mate, with a lot of that not wanting to get off it anyway. If you're getting this off of your chest, you're going to do very well to do that, like
Plus
that way.
that just helps me get off the ball in general.
Yeah,
Like you're saying, give me the room,
yeah,
time, and the confidence
yeah,
to start moving laterally that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And then obviously once I'm there, then I can
Yeah.
feel that.
exactly, mate. And I think, if I'm honest, I don't think you need to, once you've done part 1,
Yeah.
you generally do part 2 really well, and then that'll give you maybe then to have the conscious thought of being able to throw it a bit more again. I think when you're in the position you're in when you start, when you get a bit narrow, a bit spun and a bit held, you're not going to want to release it because you're going to catch it heavy. I think with driver then kind of you can start to just work on, once your movement's good, it's not like take out the move, it's more do more of the last bit to get it back up in the air.
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that.
Pretty much really similar stuff to when we started working, and I think just over time, as I've played more competitive golf, it just creeps back a little bit to what,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Of
old
course it's going
habits,
to.
so
Especially kind of because there's less, because I haven't been there, A. B, because you played in high winds.
yeah.
And then C, you've also exhausted because you've played numerous weeks in a row at a high level, and it's hard to kind of keep going. So I think those three things have definitely been what just maybe moves you back a little bit towards what your natural habits are. But hopefully now that we've kind of even just added in a bit more conscious thought into a couple of different little bits today, it means when you're out there, if you start seeing something, you'll have more of an indication of what to do.
Back to the old Strum Dog Millionaire then.
Absolutely, mate. Back to running away from people. Just do that.
Right, so that was mine and Liam's session. It always is just fine-tuning and making sure I'm doing things efficiently and correctly that produce good movements. And once again, I'm leaving today's session feeling really good. Strikes back and ball flight and windows are good, so really looking forward. Heading to China tomorrow, so thanks for watching, and keep up and watch out for some good scores. Peace.